husband, my best friend for 8 years. They will both regret this.
Ada and I had been friends since secondary school. 12 years. She knew everything about me. My fears, my secrets, my relationship. She was my bridesmaid, and I trusted her with my life. Then one evening, Emeka came home quiet. Too quiet.
Emeka, what is wrong?
Nothing. I am tired.
I believed him. I was a good woman. I trusted my man. Then one Sunday, I saw a message on his phone. I was not snooping. It just appeared. It was from Ada. Last night was everything. I love you.
Ada, what is this? Amaka, I am sorry. It just happened. It just happened? We did not plan it. Ada, you were supposed to hold my bouquet at my wedding. How long? 8 months.
8 months. While I was cooking his food, washing his clothes, planning our future, my best friend and my man for 8 months. I did not shout. I did not cry. I simply said,
Ada, I want you to know something. You did not just take my man. You made a very dangerous mistake. Amaka, I beg, let us talk about this.
I dropped the call. I was not angry. I was calculating.
My husband, my best friend for 8 years. They will both regret this.
Ada and I had been friends.
Episode 4. She stole my man, but I stole her future. My husband, my best friend for 8 months. They will both regret this.
1 week later, the divorce papers were ready. Then Emeka packed a bag on his own and stood in front of me, eyes red, looking like a man who had already lost everything.
I'm moving out. I don't want to make this harder for you.
Okay.
That's all you have to say?
What do you want me to say, Emeka? Beg you to stay?
I want you to shout at me, cry, throw something, anything. This your silence, they scare me past everything.
The Amaka way you knew, the one way for cry, beg, fall apart. She died the night I read that text on your phone. The woman when they look at you right now, she's different.
I still love you, Amaka.
You should have loved me 8 months ago.
He picked up his bag, walked to the door. The door closed behind him, and I continued walking. 3 days later, my phone rang. Number I didn't recognize. This time, Inobi Ada.
Good evening. Am I speaking with Amaka?
Who is this?
My name is Biodun. I was Ada's boyfriend. We dated for 2 years before she ended things with me. I know this is strange and I'm sorry to call you like this, but I need to tell you something. Something about your husband and your friend.
Talk.
What's between them? It didn't start 8 months ago.
What did you just say?
They have been on and off since before you got married, Amaka. She is the reason I broke up with her 3 years ago. I found messages between them on her phone. I kept quiet because I thought it was none of my business, but after what she did to you, you deserve to know the full truth.
Before the wedding?
Before the wedding, during the wedding planning, they stopped for a while after you got married and then started again 8 months ago.
How sure are you?
I have the messages, screenshots, everything.
Book building in for a formal statement. My husband. My best friend! My husband. My husband. My best friend! For 8 months. They will both regret this. Episode 3. She stole my husband. My husband. My best friend! For 8 years. They will both regret this.
Ada and I had been friends since secondary school. 12 years. She knew everything about me. my fears, my secrets, my relationship. She was my bridesmaid, and I trusted her with my life. Then one evening, Emeka came home quiet. Too quiet.
Emeka, what is wrong?
Nothing. I am tired.
I believed him. I was a good woman. I trusted my man. Then one Sunday, I saw a message on his phone. I was not snooping. It just appeared. It was from Ada. Last night was everything. I love you.
Ada, what is this? Amaka, I am sorry. It just happened. It just happened? We did not plan it. Ada, you were supposed to hold my bouquet at my wedding. How long? 8 months.
8 months. While I was cooking his food, washing his clothes, planning our future, my best friend and my man for 8 months. I did not shout. I did not cry. I simply said,
Ada, I want you to know something. You did not just take my man. You made a very dangerous mistake. Amaka, I beg, let us talk about this.
I dropped the call. I was not angry. I was calculating.
My husband, my best friend, for 8 months, they will both regret this.
That night, after I got off the phone with Ada, I just sat on my bed. They looked the wall. Emeka entered the room quietly like person we don't chop poison. His eyes were red.
Amaka, I beg, say something.
Lock the door when you leave.
I'm not leaving. Not until you hear me out.
Every morning you wake up beside me. Every Sunday we kneel in church together. Every night you tell me you love me. And you were inside my best friend.
I'm so sorry, I swear to God.
Get out of my room.
He looked at my face, saw something with fear and walked out quietly. No tears from me, nothing. I picked up my phone and called Tola.
Amaka, you don't do midnight. Waiting. Ada has been sleeping with Emeka. 8 months. Sufiakwa, God punish her. Tola, focus. That senior manager job she applied for at your company, how far? She's in the final 3. Decision they come next week. Amaka, what do you want to do? Nothing. Good night, Tola.
I dropped the call, and for the first time that night, I smiled. Next morning, Emeka done already the kitchen when I come downstairs. He don't make breakfast, eggs, fried plantain, tea, like say food go fix wetin him do.
Amaka, you didn't sleep. Please sit down, eat something.
I have somewhere to go.
At this time, Amaka, it's 7 a.m.
Do you know wetin pay me pass everything, Emeka?
What?
Not that you cheated. Men cheat, God will judge you for that one. Wetin pay me is that you chose Ada. Of all the women in Lagos, in this whole world, you chose the one person I would have called first if you died. The one person I trusted with my whole life.
I wasn't thinking.
No, you were thinking. Every single day for 8 months you were thinking and you still chose it. Call your mother, Emeka. Start preparing her.
Preparing her for what?
I went straight to see Mrs. Okafor. Sharp woman, best divorce lawyer on the island. My brother don't use her before, and she never lose.
You're very calm for someone in your situation. Is that a problem? No, it's just most women we come here to cry. You look like a person we don't already plan something. Let's talk business. Where do I stand? Tell me everything. Property, accounts, business, everything. The Lekki flat na mine. I bought am before the marriage. Only my name did on the deed. My skincare business account, separate. Always been separate. The house where we did now, we bought them together. You've protected yourself better than most women we walk through this door. I wasn't even trying to protect myself. I just don't like mixing money. Well, that habit of yours is about to save your entire future. My husband. My husband. My best friend. For 8 months. They will both regret this. Episode 3. She stole my man, but I stole her future.
Friday evening, unknown number called my phone. I knew who it was before I even picked up.
Amaka, please, just give me 5 minutes. You're using somebody else's phone. Because you blocked it everywhere. Amaka, I'm begging you. I know what I did was wrong. Do you know, Ada? Because from where I'm standing, you knew for 8 months and you never stopped. I wanted to stop. I tried. You tried? Ada, you have been friends since SS1. I don't know, 15 years old. You were there when my father died. I was there when your mother died. 12 years. 12! I know, and I hate myself. You didn't hate yourself when you were with him. Not once in 8 months did you hate yourself enough to stop. Oh, wait. Oh, and that job you've been praying about, the senior manager position, the one you said would change your life. What about it? Don't wait by your phone, my dear. Amaka, what did you do? Good night, Ada. Amaka, answer me. What did you do?
I dropped the call, poured myself a glass of red wine, and stepped onto my balcony.
You don't do. She's off the list. Official reason, failed background screening. She could never find out why. She will never know. Never. As far as that company is concerned, she doesn't exist. Good. Amaka, how you really did? Like, honestly? I did Tola. And Emeka, what do you go do about him? I don't already see a lawyer. Amaka, you're not playing at all. See as you did do him. This is only episode 3, Tola. I never even start.
A bag on his own and stood in front of me.
Episode 4. She stole my man, but I stole her future. My husband. My best friend! For 8 months. They will both regret this.
1 week later, the divorce papers were ready. Then Emeka packed a bag on his own and stood in front of me, eyes red, looking like a man who had already lost everything.
I'm moving out. I don't want to make this harder for you.
Okay.
That's all you have to say?
What do you want me to say, Emeka? Beg you to stay?
I want you to shout at me, cry, throw something, anything. This your silence, they scare me past everything.
The Amaka way you knew, the one way for cry, beg, fall apart. She died the night I read that text on your phone. The woman when they look at you right now, she's different.
I still love you, Amaka.
You should have loved me 8 months ago.
He picked up his bag, walked to the door. The door closed behind him, and I continued walking. 3 days later, my phone rang. Number I didn't recognize. This time, Inobiada.
Good evening. Am I speaking with Amaka?
Who is this?
My name is Biodun. I was Ada's boyfriend. We dated for 2 years before she ended things with me. I know this is strange and I'm sorry to call you like this, but I need to tell you something. Something about your husband and your friend.
Talk.
What's between them? It didn't start 8 months ago.
What did you just say?
They have been on and off since before you got married, Amaka. She is the reason I broke up with her 3 years ago. I found messages between them on her phone. I kept quiet because I thought it was none of my business, but after what she did to you, you deserve to know the full truth.
Before the wedding?
Before the wedding, during the wedding planning, they stopped for a while after you got married and they started again 8 months ago.
How sure are you?
I have the messages, screenshots, everything. I kept them because I knew one day the truth will need to come out. I can send them to you right now if you want.
Send them.
I sat on that floor for I don't know how long. Ada had held my bouquet at the altar, cried and called me the most beautiful bride she'd ever seen. All that time. When I stood up, I was past cold, past anger, quiet, deadly calm. I called Mrs. Okafo.
Amaka, is everything okay? We need to add something to the divorce filing. What happened? It started before the marriage. I have a witness and I have evidence, screenshots. Amaka, if we can prove premarital deception of this level, this changes everything. Grounds for full asset claim. The house, his account, everything we wanna share. I know. Are you sure you want to go this route? Once we file this, it cannot be undone. Book building in for a formal statement. And Mrs. Okafor, yes, make it airtight. I don't want a single loose end. Leave it to me.
Don't finish. You like storyline.
Hi, Robert. We love you. Valentine we go sweet. Now from the food you go know. We picked your pocha for the place to celebrate our love. First kimchi, then I ordered smoked duck. John ordered noodles. I ordered chicken feet. Business time. It was amazing. Tasted like suya. More food. Noodles you have to use your hand to mix. Oh, more noodles and more noodles. June was slopping down like she was Mulan. Oh, the noodles tasted like glass, high quality noodles. Athena with the chicken. Athena just they chop. Oh, they chop, they go, they chop. Even sour. June, what's your rating? 10 out of 10? I give this place a 9 out of 10, and that is a high mark for me. Amazing, amazing. Shut.
See one for up then.
Enjoy your shawarma and coke. It's another chance to win a share of 600 million naira in cash. Mary, I want to go and meet that guy I was telling you about yesterday. Where is that guy living self? Hope he get money very well. I don't actually know yet, but he looked loaded. I hope it is real. Okay, don't forget to bring something for your bestie, or should I even follow you? Mary, I want to go and meet that guy I was telling you about yesterday. Where is that guy living self? Hope he get money very well. I don't actually know yet, but he looked loaded. I hope it is real. Okay, don't forget to bring something for your bestie, or should I even follow you?
Hello, dear. What took you so long? I thought you were not going to show up. I've been here for a while now.
I'm so sorry. I didn't find a cab very early.
So it's really nice to finally meet you in person.
It is. I feel like I already know you, but this feels different.
I was thinking the same because texts don't show someone's eyes or their smile.
And they don't show how calm I suddenly feel sitting here with you.
That's funny. I was nervous all day, but now I'm not.
Maybe that's a good sign.
I think so. I believe meaningful connections don't rush. They just feel right.
Then I'm glad we are starting slow. I would like to really know you.
I would like that too.
Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. Hi, are you okay? Why are you sitting here crying? Did something happen? Did I do anything wrong?
gotten you to?
They called me the giver, the girl who would never say no, the girl who shared her pain the way it shaped me, and this single mistake destroyed everything I thought I was. But before you judge me, before you say what you would have done, let me start from the beginning, because this is how it all began. I met Raymond on a quiet Sunday afternoon. I wasn't even looking for love. Love just found me. He was charming, soft-spoken, the kind of man who looked at you like nothing else in the world mattered. I fell fast. I fell deep. Maybe too deep. Raymond wasn't rich, he wasn't stable, but I believed in him. I supported him when he said he wanted to build a future. I gave him everything a young man could ever need. My time, my money, my encouragement, my love. I helped him apply for his travel documents. I used my savings to pay some of his fees. I cooked for him, prayed for him, covered his shame, defended him from people who said he didn't love me. I stood by him like a wife, but he treated me like a backup plan. Yet I didn't see it. Love makes you blind, too blind. The day he traveled, he kissed my forehead and promised to come back for me. Promised to call every day. Promised that distance wouldn't change anything. I believed every word. I waited for his call that night. It didn't come. I waited the next day. Nothing. I called him. His phone rang. He didn't pick. 2 weeks passed. He blocked me on everything. No explanation. No goodbye, no closure, just silence. And do you know the kinds of pain that makes you feel like your chest is breaking open? That was the pain I felt. Everything I did for him meant nothing. I was alone again, confused, heartbroken, empty. But life wasn't done with me. It had one more blow waiting. A few months later, I started feeling weak. At first, I thought it was stress or maybe heartbreak, but the weakness grew deeper. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. My body felt like it was falling apart. So I went to the hospital for tests. Hours later, the doctor called me into his office. His eyes were cold. His voice was flat. He said, "Mia, your test shows you are HIV positive." Everything inside me stopped. The room spun. My ears started ringing. My legs went numb. I felt like I was drowning while sitting still. I kept thinking, no, this can't be my life. This can't be true. The only person I had ever been with, the only person, was Raymond. And now he was gone, living his happy life abroad, while I sat in a hospital office watching my world collapse. I walked out of the hospital like a ghost. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I was too shocked to even feel anything. But that night, everything crashed. I sat in my room for hours, staring into nothing, thinking about how my life ended before it even began. I felt used, destroyed, thrown away. Something inside me snapped that night. The pain turned into anger. The anger turned into bitterness. And bitterness became a dangerous idea. I didn't want to die alone. I didn't want to suffer alone. So I made a decision. A stupid, angry, broken decision. If I carried this pain, I would share it, give it, spread it. Not because I was wicked, but because I was wounded. Very wounded. I started going out at night, not to party, but to forget. When men approached, I didn't push them away. When they flirted, I didn't stop them. When they wanted me, I didn't say no. In my mind, I wasn't ruining them. I was sharing, giving them what life had given me. Pain. Pain for pain, wound for wound, tear for tear. Soon, people started talking, whispering, judging. I became a rumor, a warning, a threat. Then the name came. They started calling me the giver, meaning ask and she will give you something you'll never forget. The name spread like wildfire. People avoided me on the streets. Some mocked me. Some insulted me. But I kept going because in my mind, I had nothing left to live for. One calm afternoon, as I lay on my bed staring into nothing, my phone rang. It was the hospital. My heart jumped. My hands trembled. The woman on the phone said, "Hello, please, we are so sorry. There was a mistake in your test result." My breathing stopped. She continued, "Your sample was mixed with another patient's. You are not HIV positive. Your test is completely negative." The phone fell from my hand. The world froze. I wasn't sick. I wasn't dying. I wasn't infected. But I had already destroyed myself, destroyed my name, destroyed my life. And worst of all, I had allowed pain to turn me into something I was not. I cried harder than I had cried the day they told me I was positive. I cried for my innocence. I cried for my stupidity. I cried for the people I hurt. I cried for the old Mia, the Mia who died the moment the wrong result was handed to her. I wish I could say my life went back to normal, but it didn't. People had already named me, judged me, condemned me. They saw me as the giver, not Mia, never Mia. But I learned something through all of this. Pain is a dangerous thing. It can turn a gentle and violent. It can turn a kind heart into a weapon. It can turn the innocent into the broken. I am not proud of my story. I am not proud of my choices. But this is my truth. This is my journey. This is the night my life changed forever. And this is why they call me Mia, the giver.
Dami, after POP, you're going straight to Lagos office, Abi, or you're just waiting for press?
The scream that woke the whole kingdom didn't sound human. It tore through the palace walls like fire, loud, sharp, desperate. It was Queen Nena. Guards grabbed their spears, servants dropped their clay pots. The king's other wives rushed out of their rooms, pushing and shouting, "What happened? Is the king alive? Open the door!" When they burst into the king's chamber, they found two shocking sights. The king collapsed on the floor and Queen Nena crying uncontrollably, holding her stomach. "Your Majesty," the guards shouted. The healer was sent for immediately. He knelt beside the king, pressed his chest, checked his pulse, shook his head slowly. "He is alive," the healer said, "but his heart is failing. Stress has weakened him." Everyone turned to Queen Nena. She sat on the cold floor shaking, her wrapper half loose, her breath unsteady. "Queen, what happened?" the healer asked gently. Her voice trembled. I don't know. I woke up with sharp pain, and before I could stand, she pointed at the king. He fell." The guards exchanged worried glances. The palace had been under pressure for years. No sun, no air, no hope. And the king was carrying the weight of the entire kingdom alone. The healer moved closer to Queen Nena, touched her wrist, felt her pulse, then paused. His eyes widened. Queen, you are with a child. The king's other wives froze. One covered her mouth, another clenched her fist. One jealous wife hissed, after all these years. Queen Nana didn't speak. She didn't smile. She didn't celebrate. She simply placed her hand on her stomach, shocked, terrified, confused, because deep inside, she wasn't sure whether this pregnancy was a blessing or the beginning of another war in the palace. Across the room, the king's body twitched, as if he heard everything, and then went still again. The healer shouted, "Move him, quickly, before we lose him." The palace exploded into movement. Servants carried the king, women screamed, guards ran for water, the wives whispered and gossiped loudly. Queen Nana stood alone in the middle of the chaos, one hand shaking on her belly. A child was finally coming, but nobody knew if this child would save the kingdom or divide it forever. Darling natural twist blending her hair over time. Yeah, that's perfect. She's really more beautiful every week. Darling natural twist get better every day, just like you. The palace was still dark when the king finally opened his eyes. All night, the royal healers had walked over him, cool water on his head, hot cloth on his chest, strange roots under his tongue. No one slept, not even the guard outside his door. So when the king suddenly gasped and sat up, the room shook with relief. "Your Majesty, you are awake," the chief healer breathed. The king's head throbbed, but his first question was simple. "Where is she?" They knew exactly who he meant, the first wife, the one carrying his child. Moments later, she rushed into the room. Her skin glowed with that early pregnancy warmth. Her steps slower than usual but steady. Her hands were wrapped protectively around the small swell of her stomach. The king looked at her with a tired smile. "You are safe. And the child?" She nodded. "We are fine, my king." That single sentence brought life back into him. He held her hand for a long moment. "Then I have nothing to fear," shot her because he wanted her to rest. And every wife in the palace saw it. Every small kindness, every new room, every moment of affection, it bond them. The second wife almost dropped her wooden bowl the first time she saw the king feed the queen with his own hand. The third wife couldn't sleep because she kept imagining the queen's belly growing bigger. The fourth wife stopped speaking whenever the queen entered the room. The fifth wife started visiting the priests more often. And the sixth wife, the quietest of them all, began watching the queen too closely. Their jealousy was no longer silent. It lived in their eyes, in their lips, in their footsteps. One evening, as the queen walked back to her chamber, her maid suddenly screamed. A stone, smooth, heavy, polished, rolled out from behind a pillar. Someone had kicked it at her feet, hard enough to make a pregnant woman fall. The guards reacted instantly, but whoever did it had already disappeared into the shadows. The queen stood very still, her heart shaking, her hand back on her stomach. She didn't say a word, but that night, in her chamber, she whispered to her unborn child, They are afraid of you, my little one." Meanwhile, in another corner of the palace, the second and sixth wives met in secret, their faces tense and close to the firelight. "If we allow her child to live," one of them whispered, "we will never know peace again." Outside, the wind howled long and heavy, like it was warning someone. Two years passed, and the palace had changed. The princess, barely a toddler, was already different. She did not cry when normal children cried. She held the king's staff without fear. She walked into quarrels and servants stopped fighting instantly. Her presence alone settled chaos, calm, strange, and powerful. Whispers moved like smoke through the kingdom. "She's blessed." "No, she's dangerous. A man's spirit lives in that child. The gods made a mistake." Or did they? Could she truly be heir one day? The king's wives felt the pressure tightening around their hearts. One watched the princess like a hunter waiting for weakness. One began sneaking to a herbalist at night, whispering desperate questions. One suddenly became overly kind to the queen, smiling too much, watching too closely. 2 years passed. One suddenly became overly kind to the queen, smiling too much, watching too closely. Yet the king himself was changing. He found himself observing the child in secret, almost in disbelief. She grabbed his finger with surprising strength, strength no child her age should have. She walked towards his throne boldly, without crawling, without hesitation. And when the warrior drums sounded outside, she laughed, a loud, fearless laugh that echoed through the hall. For the first time, the king whispered to himself, "Maybe the gods did not curse me. Maybe they gave me something greater." But trouble was already crawling toward the kingdom. It was a quiet afternoon. Too quiet. The wind slowed. The palace birds stopped singing. Even the servants moved like shadows, uneasy, watching the little princess play with her wooden toys near the queen's chambers. Then, a sharp scream tore through the palace. A maid stumbled out shaking violently. "The princess! The princess is gone!" The palace exploded into chaos. Guards sprinted through corridors. Doors slammed open. Drums of alarm thundered across the kingdom. Servants wept as they searched every corner. The queen could barely stand. Her hands trembled. Her eyes went empty with terror. The king roared, "Shut the gates. No one enters. No one leaves." Warriors were sent into the forest. Horses charged into the village. Every path, every bush, every stream searched. The entire kingdom held its breath. And just when the fear was at its peak, a guard ran into the courtyard, panting, pale, unable to speak. In his hand was the princess's anklet, the royal anklet she never removed, now broken cleanly in half, as if someone or something snapped it with ease. The king's face drained. The queen collapsed. Even the palace wives froze in fear. Then the guard whispered, "My king, there are footprints near the forest." He swallowed hard. "But these are not the princesses." Everyone stared at him. "What do you mean?" the king demanded. The guard's voice cracked. "These prints, they are too big for a child, too small for a man, and they disappear into the trees, as if whoever took her wasn't walking." The king's heart dropped. The forest